You're going to need a block for this practice, maybe a book or anything that you can squeeze between your knees. So you're going to start on your back with your feet grounded. I would say bring the feet rather a little closer to the body than too far forward. So your toes are pointing straight forward. Your block is between your thighs, upper thighs or knees. And you're going to just lie on your back and squeeze the block actively. And then as you squeeze the block, send the message to the belly to soften so that you can breathe into the abdomen. And then as you breathe in, allow your pelvis to tilt forward. And as you breathe out, allow your pelvis to tilt back. So your lower back goes towards the mat and then it lifts away from the mat a little bit. So it's just little pelvic tilts, connecting to a very subtle movement in the pelvis. And then you're going to ground your sacrum and lift your knees right above your hips, placing your hands on your lower ribs. With your exhale, really hug your ribs all the way down towards each other. And then keep the ribs contained like that and active while you breathe softly into your belly and squeeze into your block. Now keep your ribs hugged in like that. Your left hand stays on your ribs as your right arm extends up overhead. And then the right hand goes to the ribs and the left arm stretches up overhead, trying to maintain the hug of your rib cage down. And then bring both hands back onto your ribs and your belly. Bend your knees a lot and then slowly place your feet down on the mat. Good. From here, both arms can stretch overhead and then interlace your fingers behind your head. Really pull the lower back towards the mat, the ribs down, and then lift your shoulders off of the mat as far as you comfortably can with your head resting in your hands. And now tuck your tailbone so much and then lift your hips slightly off of the mat. It's not going very high. Now squeeze the block actively and see if you can shear your knees or slide your knees past the block one at a time. So the right knee goes forward, left knee goes forward, right knee goes forward. And it's very subtle. It's more happening on the inside of the hip. And then you're going to bring the legs into neutral so that you can come down onto your hips and stretch the arms overhead again. Now take the block, place it by the side of your mat, your feet as wide as your shoulders, and let's go into a hip thrust, into a bridge. Keep the same idea of the rib cage being like a little hug. The ribs are hugging your body. And you want to press through your feet. Now shift your weight from left foot to right foot without losing connection to the core and the stability in the hips. As you push your right foot down, also hug your right heel towards your right shoulder. And the same on the left. And then push through both feet equally and then bring the hips up and down for 20 rounds. So you really want to push through the feet actively. Keep the ribs contained like a hug. So you're never letting the glutes relax. So the hips stay slightly above the mat as you come down. Okay, keep going. Pushing through the heels to lift the hips. Up and down. Keep going. Last one. And then slowly lower your hips all the way down. Now you're going to bend your right knee and bring your left hand to the back of your hamstring. You can just kind of bend and straighten into the right leg a little bit just to release the hamstring. Like a gentle stretch in the back of the leg. And then switch sides. Right hand behind the left hamstring. And the heel kicks to the sky and down. Only kick it as straight as it feels comfortable in the hamstring. Okay, now the block is going to come back and you're going to squeeze the block between your upper thighs or knees again. Toes pointing forward. Now actively squeeze the block and then bring the knees right above your hips and your shins parallel to the mat. You're going to interlace your fingers and bring your hands behind your head. And then you're going to try to lift your sacrum off of the mat while your shoulders are also lifted and your rib cage hugs the body. So it's like these slow motion lifts, placing the spine down, reaching the legs slightly forward and the knees to the forehead. Slightly forward, knees to the forehead. The movement can be really small, as long as you feel like you're using very little momentum, but more connection right around the belly button. Good, now, last one, you're going to reach up and then take the block and place the block by your side. And if you have a little kid running around the house, give them some love and then try again. Okay, let's go again with the hip extension, pressing through the feet, heels underneath the knees, pressing through one foot more than the other, hugging your heels to your sit bones. And then push through both feet equally. Go for 20 rounds up and down. Keep hugging the ribs. You can go faster or slower than me. Up, down, up, down, up. Pushing through the feet. Good, about 2 more. Good. On your last one, come all the way down. Pull your right knee back towards your chest again just to massage your hamstring, and then switch sides, massage the back of the left hamstring. Okay, both feet on the mat. Right leg straightens up in line with your left knee. You're going to activate the whole leg and then lift your hips off of the mat by pushing through your left foot. Then drop your hips and bring the right knee towards your chest. Then straighten the right leg again, lift your hips up to the sky. Drop the hips, pull the right knee towards your chest. One more time, extend the leg, lift your hips, look for balance at the hips, and then bend the right knee, drop your hips. Now firm the right leg straight all the way down to hover above the mat. Bend the knee, pull it to the chest, straighten and lower it down and back. Last one. Forward and back. Now push through your left foot, a single leg hip extension, both knees bent 90 degrees. Now bring your left hand to the front of your right thigh and push the leg away from you while you resist the push with your leg. And now drop your hips and continue to push and resist, reaching the left arm across the body. Good, place the right foot down. Switch sides, extend your left leg straight, knees next to each other. Now lift your hips, single leg hip extension. Drop the hips down and then bend the left knee towards your chest. Straighten the left leg, lift your hips up to the sky. Drop the hips, pull the left knee towards your chest. One more time, lift your hips, extend your left leg forward. And drop the hips, left knee to chest. Now straighten the left leg and slowly hover the left leg above the mat. You're trying to hug your ribs and your lower back towards the mat here. Kicking it forward and back 3 rounds. Hover the leg above the mat. Last one. Now bend the knee as you pull it towards your forehead and a single leg hip extension with both knees bent. Now the right arm pushes into the left leg, right hand into left leg. And drop your hips, continue to push the leg away from you. Right hand pushing left leg forward, left leg resisting the push. Easy breath. And place your feet down on the mat. Okay, hug both knees towards your chest, forehead to your knees. Tiny little ball. Okay. Now, hug the right knee in, massage the back of the right hamstring again. You can maybe massage the whole leg, switch sides. And then bring your hands behind your head. Rest your head in your hands and kick your right leg to the sky and your left leg forward towards the mat to hover. You're welcome to bend both knees or keep both legs straight, whatever feels best for your hamstrings. Now continue to lift through your shoulders, pull the lower back to the mat, and then when you're ready, scissor the legs past each other to switch legs. Then bring both legs straight up or bent, and then try to lift your sacrum off of the mat again, and then lower both legs simultaneously as far down as you feel comfortable in the lower back. Now bring both legs right above your hips and open your legs out to the sides as wide as you feel comfortable. Bring the legs together. Left leg goes forward to hover. Scissor the legs past each other. Right leg goes down. Both legs next to each other. Lift your sacrum off of the mat. Drop your sacrum and then straighten the legs forward and down as far as you'd like. Legs in line with hips. Open the legs wide. And bring the legs back. Right leg goes down. Scissor the legs. Left leg goes down. Both legs next to each other. Lift your sacrum up off of the mat. Lower the spine and reach your legs all the way forward. Back in line with your hips. Open your legs wide. Legs together. Left leg forward. Head is resting. Right leg forward. Legs together. Lift your bum. Both legs forward as far as you can while keeping the lower back grounded. Both legs in line with hips. External rotation as you open your hips wide. Legs together. Great. Place your feet down and lift your hips and just release that. Soften your belly a little bit. Open the front body. Good. Notice the subtle increase in heat in your body. Come all the way down. You're welcome to keep the knees bent or straighten the legs and rest. Thank you for joining. Namaste.